Hello and welcome to this channel about mental health issues. If you're just joining me, I do these short videos about dealing with schizophrenia and how to overcome these issues, or at least help alleviate some of these issues. Now, I want to jump straight into this video. The title for today is getting the right kind of help. And this is seems very obvious, but also counterintuitive in some other areas because getting the right kind of help is not always necessarily easy thing to do. It's also because most people who are suffering from a mental illness do to some degree exhibit self-destructive behavior. That is exactly what I've experienced, at least. But you should always take everything I say with a grain of salt and find everything that is useful for you. Okay. So when people think about getting the right kind of help, they might think on getting the right kind of medication, or simply have a good psychologist to be around that you have a chemistry with. But this isn't always enough. Oftentimes, psychologists, in my opinion, are more very much focused on asking questions rather than finding solutions. And I know part of therapy is to engage in your own senses to sort of find your own problems, but at least for me, this doesn't help in the slightest. Because if I can ransack my mind to find issues I'm dealing with already, I don't need a psychologist to do that because I think all the time, and most schizophrenics do that as well, right? So what do? More times than not, I need tools, viable tools to help me cope with this illness, tools to overcome issues and thought patterns and mindsets that are toxic or just causing belligerence in your life in some way or another. Uh, so yeah, that's why I've created this short list to help you get the right kind of help. And that is network with people whom you trust. This seems very obvious, but it isn't always that obvious. As I said before, I think humans who are suffering are very self-destructive. That's one of the reasons why they're suffering. Yeah, it's not really. It's more very tragic comic if you want to put it that way. But I would say network with people whom you trust. And I recently watched this interview with a rapper slash poet called Scroobius Pip, and he said something that really made me engage in the interview, and that was, uh, he said that when you present yourself, the way you present yourself is what you'll get back. And that's those the kind of people you will attract back. Uh, so if you are very self-destructive, you'll be around self-destructive people. If you're an abuser, you'll be around abusers. I mean, substance abuse, for instance, or even it could be violent people, you know. Um so if you attract fake people, you'll get fake people back in your life. That's how he phrased it, you know. And that really rang to me because that's not always what we think we're doing. We think if we are actually engaging with this person and trying to manipulate him, not manipulate, but it is kind of a manipulation. We just don't see it that way. You might experience it in another way where it's just I'm gonna try to impress this person to not show him who I really am so he can like me. But this is of course very childish and doesn't really uh, do anything other than getting you burned or maybe attracting a lot of fake people who want something out of you as well, who is also fake. Now, yeah. Now that we've got that covered, we can move on to exercise, eat healthy, early sleep. The 3 E's. Cannot stress this enough. Always stay away from drugs as well, cannabis, especially because that can be very harmful for schizophrenics. And you're already lethargic to begin with, so if you get even more lethargic from smoking, and it's just gonna ruin your life because the negative symptoms will pretty much ensure that you will not be able to handle even holding a day job or something like that, you know, which is just not good and is not gonna propel you forward. And the third thing is I want to say is this last thing to end this video on is digest your thoughts. What you say, what you get back, and what you think guides your actions. It all starts with thoughts. This is something I read in the Dhammapada Buddha wrote, or this is sayings that the Buddha made. I'm not a Buddhist or anything, I just found this very helpful as a psychological tool. Uh, but I think it has a lot of merit because a man who's always feeling angry, accused, or belligerent will find those things again and again. Again and again and again and again. And it will not really change that much, you know. because actions like these will only result in more belligerence and more feelings of hurt, because uh, you are exacerbating things in your mind which you don't like, and then you're putting focus on them, and then you're completely building it up and building it up and building it up. So the takeaway from this long rant is basically, if you want to have a more stable life with your illness, I would suggest doing all of these things, especially. And so they are: keep your thoughts clear, find people who want the best for you, and exercise, eat healthy, early sleep. Yeah. And don't listen too much to shrinks, because they don't know everything, even though they like to. They're like priests in the old days. Now, I'm gonna end this video now, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.